President Donald J. Trump has taken decisive action, putting the police in Washington, D.C. under federal control for 30 days, deploying 800 National Guard troops and promising to end rampant crime in our nation's capital. Attorney General Pam Bondi said it plainly, "Crime in D.C. is ending, and it's ending today. No more crime rampant in our beautiful capital. We are going to make D.C. beautiful and safe again. America's capital, the beating heart of our nation. The place where laws are made, justice is supposed to be served, and freedom is meant to be protected. But beneath the marble monuments and grand avenues lies a darker truth, a truth carefully hidden in plain sight, a truth carved into the very streets of Washington, D.C. This is not simply about crime on our streets. It's about the war for the very soul of our nation. Stopping crime is a noble mission, but there's a deeper cancer here, and without cutting it out, these efforts are like placing a bandage on a tumor, like taking an aspirin for a virus. The pain may fade for a moment, but the sickness, it remains. Look closely at this image. The streets were not arranged by chance. They form a sacred geometric symbol, a pentagram, linked for centuries to black magic, occult rituals, and satanic worship. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is conspiracy fact. This is city planning, documented and undeniable. The secretive Freemasons, the masters of esoteric symbolism, they literally carved their magic sigils into the heart of America's government, right in the streets. They understood something most people still don't, that symbols are not just art. They're spiritual anchors. They're gateways for influence. They're markers of domination. There are real powers behind the scenes. The rulers of darkness do not always wear political titles. Their seats are not always in the Senate or in the House. Their authority comes not from the people, but from principalities and powers in the unseen realm. The Apostle Paul warned us in Ephesians 6:12. He said, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." High places. Is there a higher earthly place than the capital of the United States? And yet, the design itself, the very foundation stones, are claimed in the name of Lucifer. This is a spiritual cancer. This is why crime, corruption, and moral decay flow so easily in Washington, D.C., and from there, throughout the United States of America. When the ground itself is dedicated to darkness, the fruit it produces will be poisoned. You can arrest criminals, you can pass new laws, you can put troops on every corner, but as long as the spiritual stronghold remains, the heart of the city will beat to the rhythm of the true God of this world, Satan. What must be done? If we truly want to make D.C. safe again, if we truly want to make America great again, we must go beyond politics. We must bulldoze not just the dens of crime, but the altars of the enemy, the occult street patterns, the monuments to pagan gods, the lodges of secret societies, all must be dismantled. Secret societies must be exposed and made illegal. The capital must be cleansed and rededicated, not to the false light of the Luciferian order, but to the true light of the Almighty God. This is a call to wake up. This is not a call for violence. This is a call for truth, a call for spiritual warfare, a call for national cleansing. Because until the root is destroyed, the branches will just keep growing back. Until the stronghold is torn down, the enemy will just keep ruling from the shadows. This is the deeper truth. This is not just a war about politics. This is not just about crime statistics or partisan victories. This is about dismantling an ancient network, one that has operated from the shadows for centuries. The very same bloodline that the God of Israel warned and judged in the scriptures is the same bloodline behind the magic symbols carved into the streets. Their star is here. Their geometry is here. Their dark influence is here. And their behavior, their lust for control, the corruption of nations, the use of symbols to claim territory, it's the same wherever they go. If America truly wants to be free, it will take more than just cleaning up the streets. with National Guard troops. It will take tearing down the altars of those who rule in this present darkness and refusing to bow to their false light ever again. Look closer at this map. The pentagram is not the only symbol here. Embedded in the very heart of our nation's capital is the hexagram, the same six-pointed star historically associated with occult worship, with the god of Remphan and Molech. It's been adopted in modern times as the emblem of Israel. This is not simply a Jewish religious symbol. This is an ancient talisman of power, once condemned by the Apostle Stephen, filled by the Holy Spirit, just before he was stoned to death by the synagogue of Satan. Acts 7:43. Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Molech, and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon, says the God of Israel. This is the same bloodline, the same spirit that God rebuked through the prophets, the same that practiced idolatry in Israel's own land and sacrificed their own children to these gods. And now their mark stands above the White House itself, carved in stone in the city streets of Washington, D.C. Their influence over nations is not new. Wherever they go, their symbols appear, and wherever their symbols appear, corruption spreads. This is why D.C. cannot truly be cleansed without removing not only criminals, but the architects of the system itself, those who have sworn allegiance to powers far greater and far darker than the American people can possibly imagine. So now the question must be asked. President Trump, we believe that you truly do intend to make America safe again, strong again, and great again. But what will you do about getting rid of this virus? Will you confront the bloodline and its occult claim over our capital? Will you remove the sigils and the symbols that anchor spiritual darkness to the city and the nation? Will you evict the powers that have occupied these streets for generations, not just the flesh and blood criminals, but the principalities behind them? Will you have the courage to tear down the old system brick by brick and rebuild Washington, D.C. on the foundation of righteousness, truth, and light, free from the grip of the ancient order that has ruled it since its birth? Because until that question is answered, America cannot truly be free, or strong, or safe, or great. To the viewer, if you see the truth in this message, if you understand what is at stake, I ask you to share this video before it's buried, before it's taken down. Share it with friends and family and anyone who still believes that this fight is just about politics. Then leave your thoughts in the comments below. Because the more we speak truth, the harder it becomes for darkness to hide. Thank you for your time. God bless the United States of America.